he's really he's shameless in intellectual argument. He's absolutely without character, a moral foundation, or even intellectual substance.
Reading. It was MYT, wasn't it? Of course.
I didn't read the article, but I know what it says.
How do you spot a performative male? Look for a tote bag. Excuse me, I use tote bags all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm not performing. Also, they're handy. They're very useful.
Yeah, and also most people with tote bags are chicks.
Yeah. And gay guys, clearly.
Yeah. Well, it's like, I mean, yeah, the idea of, are we going? Is this rolling now? Yeah. The idea of performative reading is like, like everyone's to a degree, like, wasn't this like Marina Abramovich idea of that everyone's like kind of a fucking doing performance art? Like, it's like, then you're just like post-modernly, like everything is performance. And then it's like at that point, well, the critique's like nothing then. But yeah, I mean, some dudes are doing it performatively, but they're doing it performatively to get laid. And I'm like, I want the stats on, is it working?
I don't think it is.
I don't think it is.
Women don't care about that. Maybe like, and also, I don't mean to be harsh, but the kind of women who do care about that, men are not pursuing. Kind of dowdy, frumpy women who like to read. Or it's not so much like to read, but like just, that's part of their performative identity. Yeah. Usually like, I'm a reader.
It's also coming from like Book Talk or whatever, where they're like, hey guys, just want to let you know, men are performatively reading. And it's just like, yeah, well, you have a channel about reading like fucking like whatever, romance books and stuff. It's like, is this not performative? Or people tweeting about it. It's like, okay, well, what are you doing tweeting? Like, since what is the performative act that's bad? And it's like, okay, well, I'd prefer someone to be performatively reading than performatively tweeting and book talking and shit. Like,
yeah, me too. And there's this like, I blame a guy called Irving Goffman, who was like this academic who's really big in sociology, and like people in the humanities and stuff have kind of jumped off his point, which is that he talks about like performance in everyday life, that like everything we do is sort of like a stage managed kind of thing socially, right? That pretty much everything you do in social life is a kind of performance, that you are projecting yourself outward as a certain kind of person or whatever. But the thing about that is like, you might feel similarly or differently, is that usually I'm trying to escape the social when I'm reading. So like, if I'm reading a book in public, it's because I want to be in my own little world. So I don't care about performing socially. I don't know if that's maybe I'm subconsciously performing or something, but usually I'm just in a park reading something, and I'm not doing it to I'm definitely not doing it to get chicks. So
yeah, and I don't think in your sphere you need to do all of that stuff. Like, it's not like this whole like game of chess in a maze like that dating women is like. It's just more like, you just go on your app and you're set kind of thing. Like, I mean, it's just like that thing of like, all right, well, everything's a performance. It gets to that idea of like, well, consciousness is just an epiphenomenon, and it's like, well, at this point, I don't care. Then if you're trying to tell me it's not real because you have like a scientific explanation to like layer it and stuff, it's just, It's,
I like this. All of this discourse is always so fake. Like it's like,
it's a reaction to the like men aren't reading, and then men be like, actually we are reading. They're like, oh well, you're doing it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah. men can never win. It's like this, they're always wrong and women are always right sort of thing, which is just so like exhausting. Like I'm sick of hearing about it. And it's such like straight person nonsense. It's like men are like this, women are like that. It's just like a rehash of men are from Mars, women are from...
aren't real also.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it is a rehash of the men are from Mars, women are from Venus things from the 90s. And it's just like, but then it's got this sort of like woke patina. So it's like, what does this mean culturally? Like,
yeah. And it's like, yeah, look at the stuff they read. It's all these, whatever, Infinite Jest and stuff like that. And they just want, it's like, yeah, no chick cares about Infinite Jest. If you're reading Infinite Jest to like performatively get laid, it's like, don't. Like, read the Sarah J. Maas on the train, like, the chick.
Yeah, that'll get them interested.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we are at the red pill reading episode. What you need to do if you need to, I don't even know the term for this. What are they called? Pickup artist shit.
Yeah.
Like closing the deal with, if that's a term or whatever. You need to be reading the romantasy, the dragon fucking novels. That'll get the women's attention, and you'll be able to close that deal and get your end away.
Yeah, like I like what you're saying too. Like when you're in public and you're reading, you want to escape performative aspect of it, and it is sort of like hard at first. Like if you whip out a book, like because you feel like, oh, they're gonna think I'm just trying to, there's that thing where you feel like you're trying to show everyone that you read. But I'm like, well, I could just whip out my phone, but I'm trying not to do that. And I need to read for the podcast or whatever. So like I'll pull out my book and stuff. And then it's like that few, maybe a minute or two you have where you're like half thinking about how you're being interpreted in the world. I am trying to escape that to get just immersed into the book. And then if like someone started talking to me, like it would be annoying because they've pulled me out of that. And I'm like, and it's like, it's a painful thing to explain a book to someone. Like, what are you reading? What's it about? And you're like, wow, it's about Europe being overrun by migrants.
From India.
That actually happened. I was like, one time a girl's ever asked me about what I'm reading was I was in an elevator and it was like a cleaning lady or like junk girl. And like, I was reading Submission by Welbeck. And then she's like, oh, what are you reading? I'm like, this. And then she's like, what's it about? I'm like, it's about France being turned Muslim, and then like second waiting to see what her reaction is, and she just laughed. So I was like, all right, she's cool. But I mean, like I don't think she was like, oh, a book guy reading or whatever. She's just more like whatever. Would have probably just making awkward small talk in the elevator,
Yeah, well, when I see someone reading, I'm always trying to like get like peek at what the book is.
Yeah.
I don't ask them. I'm just like, oh, what are they read? But without being too obvious, I
can never find out. Literally can never see the cover, or if if they got the book open on a table and the title up on the top right page, like I'm like try to look. I never read it.
And you always feel like a creep too, like rubbernecking, trying to be like, like.
And I don't want to have a conversation with the person, or I don't want to interrupt their reading to be like, hey, what are you reading? They're like, oh, I'm reading the instruction manual for a fucking Toshiba calculator. I'm like, oh, fascinating.
Fascinating. Yeah. So I don't get what this. I really think at this point it's just people, because there's no actual talking discourse about like books. There is, but it's just there's not as much of it. So people like have these sort of meta discussions, and like they need content for their literary pages, so they talk about that. It's like these meta discussions about like people's reading habits and what they mean culturally and whatever. And it's just like, how about you just publish a book review? Like, some of these new authors probably need it. So why are you talking about this bullshit? And if you are going to talk about it in a book review or something,
Yeah. It's like the Brodenism thing. Like, at least that was a review of the Krasner Hawkeye book. Like, and
you love saying his name, don't you?
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not even doing like the proper like pronunciation attempt. I'm just like, well, because now I have it memorized. It took like ages to now I'm like, oh, I can search for the memory and it's
You
there.
can whip that one off. Yeah.
Oh yeah, what are you reading? Oh, it's just a whole sentence that goes for 1,000 pages. Yeah, that's gonna get you like laid for sure. She's gonna be like, no, that is a red flag.
Yeah. Right. So what were you saying? Like
What was I saying?
Oh, I was just talking about the Brodenism stuff.
Oh yeah, well yeah, like again, like at least that was like an interesting article to read. Like I haven't read the article on performative reading. I read the title of it and saw quote tweets about it. I feel like I know enough. Like I'm not even going to performatively read that article. Like, and it would be a performance. Like what the fuck, yeah, it's like like you say, the meta discussion about like talking about reading and all this shit. It's just read the fucking book and don't be mad at people for whatever their reasons are. It's like, we are in a retarded postmodern world or whatever where everyone's doing shit for stupid reasons and stuff. It's like, at least they're doing something. Like, they'll talk about like gamifying things, like let's gamify people's urges and instincts to get them to use it towards something productive. But then when that does happen, they're like, well, sorry, man, you're actually doing this for the wrong reason that we don't approve of. And it's just like, yeah, I don't know. That sort of criticism, like, I just don't, it doesn't apply to me,
I do think they are perhaps reacting to a very specific type, mostly in big cities, of a kind of guy who's just trying to project a kind of intellectualism or something. Almost sort of like literary hipsterism or some shit like that. Like I've seen that before, but like I don't think they're performatively reading. I think they're actually reading. But they might have chosen certain books based on kind of not even performative aspects, but like just cultural cachet reasons. Like I'm the type of person who reads X, and it's just like, yeah, but they're still reading, so I don't care. And if you're reading Infinite Jest or whatever, I think that's good. Like I just don't think there's any judgment to be made about that sort of thing. They're reading those books for a reason, and usually it's because they're good. If a book has a certain cultural cachet and it's from like 20, 30 years ago, then usually that's because it's kind of good. So people are reading good books. To me, that's not an issue.
No. And it's like, again, it's like, okay, say it's performative, which I'm sure there are guys who just ride the train back and forth, like holding the cover so people can see it and shit. I'm sure that guy exists somewhere, but I don't think it's this epidemic that needs to be like have discourse about.
Reading Sally Rooney on the train and nodding my head to show how much.
Yeah, I was hoping we'd get to that tweet at some point. That's performative reading. You're like reading Mein Kampf, shaking your head. Like,
is that a Howling Mutant? Who wrote that?
It sounds like a Howling Mutant tweet, but I don't think it is. It reminds me of this other tweet.
It's a classic.
I've no idea who this other guy. Probably maybe it was Howling Mutant again, but it was the tweet was like walking into a bookstore and being like, hey, you guys got anything by Hitler? But yeah, I mean, it's like,
and they probably do.
Yeah, it's $45. Even though it's like probably like what's a public domain by now. Yeah, like if say it's performative, like then it's like, well, you're just sitting on your phone on the train, like that's like automatic or something, you know what I mean? Like you're just doing that like mindlessly. Like it's not no one's on their phone performatively. No one's be like, look, I've got a phone. Maybe in the first wave of iPhones, people were like whipping them out, or if you see someone with like some kind of like if they're wearing VR on the train or some shit like stupid like that, like then it's like but so it's like, again, if it's a performance, I mean, that's better than just falling into the like mindless nothingness and scrolling the doom feed or whatever. Like,
that's a really good point. Actually, there's a that there's an unconscious, maybe not unconscious, but sort of autonomic, sort of vibe to just getting out your phone, which is almost like an urge or a kind of instinct, not an instinct, but you know what I mean, like a
bad habit.
A bad habit. Whereas reading a book is something that you are consciously doing that is not that. You know what I mean? And in that, and I don't care if it's performative or not, it's better than just doing that.
Yeah.
And I think maybe this discourse comes from people who are guilty about the fact that they're just scrolling all the time rather than nourishing their mind and soul with great literature. Perhaps that's where this resentment comes from. That
yeah, and it is resentment.
Yeah,
like that is the driving force of it, and trying to create content and just generate it's also the thing. I think people just maybe these guys are doing it performatively. I'm not gonna find out if that's true. I'll just write an article saying it is.
And how could you find out if it was true?
Yeah, exactly. Who's
no
going to answer that survey off it, honestly?
Yeah. And again, what does it even mean? If you're going to do a survey, it's just well, did they read the book or did they just pretend to read the book?
I'm performatively answering this survey.
Yeah, and I'm guessing that they actually did read the book or were reading some of it, and so it's well, it's not like a kabuki show where they're pretending that they're doing the action that they're doing. So it's so weird.
It's like you say, guys can't win. It's just there'll be endless articles about phones make people depressed and all this stuff, and then people just are mindless these days and don't think and care, and then it's they try. A lot of guys I think are reading to try to break out of the phone cycle and get change their mindset up, and because they found out it actually is this interesting world inside books and stuff, and then it's no, sorry, it's performative, doesn't count, you're doing that, you should be reading Malcolm Gladwell or some bullshit, and but don't do it in public, so you got to do it in the private, not let anyone know, but just it's just nonsense. You can't win. It's no matter what you do, you just gotta read through it, they're just gonna write stupid articles about it and shit,
and it is just all content. Speaking of content, we've been speaking about it for the last 20 minutes, and it's content for our show.
Yeah. I'm not doing this performatively.
Yeah. It's like a meta. It's meta upon meta. It's a meta sandwich. Meta discursive sandwich. And speaking of content, it's very free form today, about what we've been doing lately and reading and stuff. I didn't even do a proper intro, so whatever, you can deal with that. This is how not performative it is. We're just talking.
Maybe we won't even release it. We'll just delete the file,
or
so no one can accuse us of doing a performance.
We can record it to some old kind of a cassette tape or something like that, and then that's the only way you can access it, which is totally not a performative thing to do.
Do one of those where they stick the USB drive in the wall so someone can plug their laptop in, and then they'll be the only guy that listens to it. So the worst guy in the world will be the only person to hear it.
I was actually thinking of doing just around town little QR code, very vague kind of advertisements for the show, but I don't know how many listeners that would get or whatever. Do you have any experience with that, doing the zine and stuff?
I mean, I've put up gig flyers for bands, but again, it's not you get feedback on, how'd you find out, you do an exit survey, how'd you find out about this gig? Oh, I saw a fucking piece of shit paper on the wall that said some fucking dumb band was playing. No, so I have no idea if it works. I used to do a thing with zines because I got these little those invoice envelopes you stick to a package, and then I could make a mini version of the zine and it would fit perfectly in it, and I would stick them to walls, and
that's cool.
So people could come get it, and I'd put it on Instagram to be hey, treats for the street. And sort of shit. That's what I do. Hashtag treats for the street. Again, not performatively. That must be. I think they must make that clear. But I remember once I put one there, and then I saw someone had obviously grabbed it, but it wasn't to their liking, so they put it left it like on the like near there on the ground kind of thing. It's like, so I don't know if some homeless person's just used it to like light a,
or maybe they were like, this isn't porn, and they were like,
gotta try jerk it to it anyway. Like at least like it's a kill rag.
The kill rag. I've never heard that before. That's good.
Yeah, I've only heard it up north in Mackay, so maybe it's a regional term.
But yeah, I was just thinking about that to see if it like would generate traffic or not. But
it can't hurt.
Yeah.
Like
just little stickers or I don't know, just things like that. I'd make it look good though. But anyway, we shouldn't talk shop about stuff on the podcast. So yeah, you recently saw Oppenheimer, which I have absolutely zero interest in seeing, but you're going to mansplain it to me anyway. Did you like it? Like what?
I did like it. Yeah. It was just last night. Me and Josie were going to play the PlayStation, and then she was like, "Actually, I don't feel like playing PlayStation. Let's watch a movie." And so we looked through the DVDs, and as we always do, we'll make piles of what we want to watch. And she's like, "I'm not interested in 90% of what I've chosen." But then because I have a DVD of Oppenheimer, like it was the one I found at a thrift store. So it was last year or this year, which is weird when you find like a new movie.
That's on DVD, yeah.
Yeah, like I found The Northman once, like a month after it came out. So I'm guessing like either someone got it bought as a present and like, fuck a DVD, I don't know what, donated it, or someone who bought it died immediately or something like that. So I always like when you see something that's super new, I'm like, that's weird. So I bought it and then we watched it last night and I was like, this movie goes for like 3 hours and I heard it's kind of boring. And actually it was genuinely, I wasn't bored for a second of it. Like it's like, well, kind of, I guess, like remind me a little of Henry Johnson in the sense of like, it's sort of like jumping back and forth between some like hearing, like after, like when he's later in his life and like they're like interviewing him and people around him to like find out like basic, because it was like he had communist sympathies when he was young and then they're like, there's all this stuff about like, you know, not letting the Reds find out about what they're working on with the nuclear stuff. And then sort of there's like two stories. There's the story of the developing of the atomic weapon and all of that and dropping it. But also like the story of like, just this, it's not even like a legal, because it's not like he's not on trial. It's more like, I think it was like, I was like, had to ask yourself, like, what is this court case thing even about here? And I think it's like basically Oppenheimer's getting like his security clearance, like it's to see if he gets to keep his security clearance. And then there's some other guy who seems to be the one going after him for it because he like thinks that Oppenheimer badmouthed him to Albert Einstein and some other scientists or something like that, or some shit. Like it was the Robert Downey Jr. character and who I didn't even realize until like Josie was like, "That's Robert Downey Jr." I was like, "Oh, it's just sort of some old Jew." Like, and she's like, "Yeah, he is." I'm like, "Oh, okay, I didn't know that." But is he? Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm not putting brackets around this or anything. Yeah. So it was genuinely like, I don't know. Christopher Nolan's not my favorite director by any stretch of the means, but I mean, I've never like not enjoyed one of his movies. I've always like found them pretty watchable. And so, yeah, it's 2-3 hours of like, you know, and it had other like sort of, you know, romantic drama stuff and like interpersonal things. And yeah, it's just very watchable. And I'm surprised that I did not fall asleep. Usually I'm falling asleep through like any movie. So it held my attention. Sometimes
you need a boring movie, I think, this is a reset. But I mean, it's interesting that it's not boring. Christopher Nolan's funny because I like some of his films, and I appreciate he's one of those filmmakers that can make, it's very old school. Like it's the epic sort of movie that's sort of got everything, you know. That sounds like that's what Oppenheimer is. It's sort of like a little bit of a thriller, a little bit of a romance, a little bit of a courtroom drama sort of thing. So, and I really miss those kinds of movies. You can really only see them I think Titanic was the last big one like that, you know. And that was a while ago. You've got basically a little bit of everything, and that used to be the big Hollywood movie. Going right back to like Ben-Hur and shit like that. But yeah, I think Oppenheimer seems like a bit of a throw, and Christopher Nolan in general, I think, is a bit of a throwback to that. Like, he's probably the only filmmaker working at the moment who does that sort of movie, which is cool.
Yeah, he's like making like postmodern epic. I know I'm using the term postmodern a lot, and I might be using it incorrect. I don't care. But yeah, he makes like postmodern epics or something like that, where they're like, they're not. It's not like he's doing like the Ten Commandments or something, but it's like, he's taking some like hyper focused little topic thing, but then turning it into kind of like something like that. Yeah, that has something for everything. Yeah, it's like the movies that used to, in the 90s, there used to be heaps of movies like Pearl Harbor and stuff like that or whatever. Like they were kind of like everyone watched them and enjoyed them. And he might be one of the only like directors that everyone's kind of watching still,
He's also one of these people that, and it's probably good, like, talking about this is probably good for the writers in the audience too, that I feel like one of my bugbears with him is that I feel like a lot of his work is over-researched. Like, you can tell that he's gone into like, journals and diaries and like histories and stuff like that for a movie like this anyway. And it's just like, it's too much, man. Like sometimes when you're you're creating something, I feel like there's a tendency that people go way too deep in the weeds. It's like on these things. And it's sort of like the equivalent of like the science fiction or fantasy guy who like builds out the world, obsessed with that. And it's just like, it's too much, especially with historical things. It's just like, you need to like, embrace the poetic license a bit more. And I think that's a bit of a thing with him. Like, you can tell that he really over researches everything.
Yeah. I mean, with this, I think there was a bit of the poetic license, because there'd be stuff where it was like, I don't think it'd be like conversations with the Oppenheimer and Einstein and stuff like that. And like, there's probably no historical record of what they actually spoke about or if the conversation ever took place. So he's like injecting things like that, like dialogue wise. And, I could see in like, if I was not in the mood for it, I would have found the movie really boring and hard to sink into it. It was just last night, it worked. The planets aligned and I was actually able to just like immediately become like engrossed in it.
Yeah. He should have, I don't know if he did do this, but it would be great if he had like Alan Turing as his sassy gay friend who came in and be like, you need to accept yourself. And Alan Turing is played by Billy Porter or something. He's like,
I feel like didn't Cillian Murphy, wasn't he? Oh no, it was Benedict Cumberbatch or whatever.
Yeah.
What is that movie called?
Oh, I can't remember.
Is it called Turing? That's not a Christopher Nolan movie, right?
No, but I think it is about, I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, that is about Turing. Yeah. I don't know that I think he probably died before the.
I don't think he ever got a chance to be sassy gay. I think he was secretly bringing guys into his apartment and then got castrated by the state or whatever happened.
Yeah. That's something Ryan Murphy would do, like have Turing as the sassy black gay friend.
No, it wasn't anything too campy or anything like that. Or it's fine. I got a couple of months ago. I was like, just like Josie was out and I was like, well, what am I going to watch? And I just like flicking through Netflix or whatever, Amazon or whatever. And then like I ended up choosing, what's the Nolan movie? The like dream one, Inception.
Oh, Inception. Yeah.
Which I didn't really care for when it came out. I remember at the time being like too like Reddit about it and being like, this thing. And then like, I just watched it the other couple months ago, just like completely submitted to like the premise. And I was like, this is great. And then like when Josie came home and there was like, what's the tranny's name that's in that movie?
Ellen Page.
Ellen Page. I go, look, it's Elliot Page. It's like, what a great actor he is. Like, you would not believe that is a man.
Well, you are Unc.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, the point is, like, I watched that movie and I was like, yeah, this is super fun. Like, like I think at the time when these movies came out, everyone was like, we're sick of these like overly like grandiose, epic things. We want sort of more like gritty, real, hyper realistic, hyper focused on some kind of thing, you know. And so it was like this thing where like, yeah, people were tired of like the Leonardo DiCaprio like 3-hour movies and stuff, and now it's just like, oh yeah, bring it back. Like, you know, it actually, like, we need that. Like, yeah, it doesn't have to be everyone's favorite movie and stuff like that, but it's like we just need that in the background for society to keep functioning, you know. Otherwise men are going to performatively read and then women are going to write articles about it.
Hi there, listeners. Sorry to interrupt. We really appreciate you listening to us, but if you'd like to hear more from us, you should check out our Patreon. Go to patreon.com/gettinglit and gain access to our exclusive bonus content, including Back Matter, a special after show where we chat a little bit more informally with our guests, usually about a film or something else related to the main episode. For just $5, you get access to these bonus episodes, as well as the full archive of every episode we've ever done. For more details and to get the most out of your Getting Lit podcast experience, go to patreon.com/gettinglit. Thanks for listening. Okay, back to the show. The thing with that Inception movie is I remember being, a lot of people were confused by it, but I wasn't. I kind of got the idea behind it. But the thing that I was confused about was like, is that a thing? Like, I've never heard of, like, I've never experienced this, like, dreams within dreams. Like, what is that? Like, I don't get, like, that's the whole, the movie rests on that idea. And I'm just like, does that happen to people? Like, having dreams within dreams?
Things where I've like woken up from a dream and then I was like, oh, thank God that was only a dream. But then I was still in another dream.
Oh,
like
okay.
I've had that. But I think the thing with that movie is like where they're like made it like scientific, where it's like you can then within that dream and then time slows down exponentially. So like 1 second in the dream within the dream, it's like whatever. It's like, I don't think any of that's real. Like, you know what I mean? Or they're like, you spin the spinning top or something like that, and that proves it's not a dream. It's like, what if you dream that the top falls over? Like, it's like, but I mean, I don't think he's trying to be like, this is actual science. This is what it's like.
Oh yeah, of course.
That's obviously fantastical conceit or whatever. But
and I always felt that it could be more visually fantastical. It just seemed like very. It just all looked the same, you know.
Yeah, it's like the Bourne Identity in every layer.
yeah. But whatever. Maybe.
But, I mean, there was the thing where they were like folding the city on top of itself, and that was about as fantastical as it got. Everything else was very much just like, you know, people standing in airports looking at their watches and shit like that. Like Joseph Gordon-Levitt straightening his tie. Yeah. Is he going to come back again? Like, I feel like he just does a thing like every 10 years. Like you forget he exists, and then he comes back. So he'll come back now with like sort of like late 40s look to him and stuff, a bit of salt and pepper, and then he'll do like crush it for 3 years and then disappear and then come back like when he's like 60.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a really like I like that kind of career.
Yeah,
that's fun. I mean, he's got other things going on. I think he used to have this website, like creators website called Hit Record. Do you remember that?
No.
Where it was basically like people. It was ages ago. It would have been early 2010s, possibly even earlier, where it was just a website where, like, you know, writers, filmmakers and stuff all just kind of collaborated on different things and sort of found each other. And, you know, you would get grants and stuff to make movies and shit if people, I think people voted on them on the premises and things like that, which was really cool. And that was like between it was in one of his career lulls when he did that. So maybe he's doing something like that.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Interesting.
Yeah. No, he's cool. I like him. Have you seen Mysterious Skin?
No.
You should
Sounds
watch
familiar.
it.
What's that about?
It's a fucked up movie. I don't want to tell you about it because
it's better to just find out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, fair enough. All right.
Yeah, and so he's in that and plays like a gay, like, sort of hustler guy, then yeah, and then it's kind of about at first glance it's sort of about aliens, but it's not really. Anyway, you'll see if you watch it.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. I'll add it to the list.
But yeah. So yeah, like where were we? We were talking about Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Christopher Nolan. Yeah. There's this like. I think it's quite charming now, kind of a charming prosaic quality to Christopher Nolan. Like he makes like he can do like the fantastical kind of images, but then he also renders it very kind of like matter of fact. Like I feel like that's part of the charm of his Batman films is that it's literally Batman who is like a camp like icon. It's a man that runs around with like dressed like a bat, but he sometimes makes it like really portentous and like serious and but it's not funny like in a kind of camp way. It just because he does it so like straight faced, it's really good. So I people have like reconsidered his Batman movies, but I actually really like them, all of them.
I should probably rewatch them because I remember when they came out at the time, I didn't get that into them. Like I watched them and thought they were fine, but I just also like I think I was excited for them and thought that I would like them a lot more. And then I just kind of found them a little boring. So maybe if I rewatched it now, I would get into it more. It was also just at the time I watched it was like when I was fucking like, you know, recovering from a few years of hard partying and stuff like that. So my serotonin levels weren't able to rise.
I do love the old Batman films too, like the Tim Burton ones. But
they're the best.
They're great. I love Batman Returns. I'm very similar to Jack actually in that he's talked about Batman Returns being like it's this kind of like gay awakening. Because like I was the same. Like the Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman in that movie is just like gay icon.
Literally you?
No, not literally me. But like she's just like fascinating to watch as a gay man. Like this woman like in like leather with a whip, like acting like a cat. It's a great performance. Like verging on campy, but just sort of really good. But I even like the Joel Schumacher Batman, like with the nipple leather armor stuff. Like I love that shit. It's so funny to me.
Which one's the Schumacher? Is that the one with Arnie?
That's one of those, and then what's the one before that? Batman Forever with Jim Carrey.
I thought that was a Burton one too.
No, that's a Joel Schumacher.
Yeah. I liked Batman Forever because I saw that at the cinemas as a kid, and then like
and the Seal song.
Yeah, I loved that song.
Yeah.
But I was really into Jim Carrey as a kid. But yeah, like that movie, you know, as a kid you don't watch it and think this is super campy and like silly. You know, it's like they've written the like Warner Brothers like water tower almost at the start or something. Like I always thought that was a Burton one too, because I mean it is different in tone to the two ones before that, which are like impressionistic almost kind of thing. Like but yeah, okay. All right, Schumacher, there you go.
I like how they did. I like all the different takes on Batman. Like you can make the sort of dark gothic. I love the way Gotham City looked in the Tim Burton ones. Like this just really like old,
real comic
almost
booky.
Yeah, but almost like very European in its like the statues and things like that. Like
it's like Atlas Shrugged kind of.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like Fountainhead or something. Just like these imposing like giant buildings all crammed together, and it's kind of like the way like the Sin City like world looks too. I mean, it looks different obviously, but like that's a movie that holds up really well. Like I feel like I like enjoy it more every time I watch it. It's a good movie to just watch drunk. Like it's so fun.
Yeah, and you always like I really like those comics too, the Sin City ones.
I should read them.
Yeah, and the yellow guy in Sin City, I remember.
Oh yeah,
And I
yeah.
just remember like trying to think about like because he smells as well, apparently. That's in the story. And like I wonder what he smells like. Sulfur and onions and or something like that, you know.
Smells like the Italie d'Ange Marquis de Sade perfume.
Or the Secretions Magnifique.
No, that one actually smells good. He would smell bad. Like
That is so polarizing, that scent, because I've got it, and every guy mostly who I've been like, oh yeah, I've got this scent, and I told them about it, and they've been like really kind of full of bravado. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll try it, and I put it on, and like, get it off, get it off, get it off, because
Really?
yeah, it's really polarizing. I love it though. It has to.
kind of just floral and nice to me. Like I'm not like
You do need it to dry down, I think, because I think it's very shocking when you first encounter it. But when it dries down, it's beautiful. It's really, really fruity and floral, like you said.
I need to get a bottle of that. And I'm gonna sell my bottle of Marquis de Sade because I just can't wear it. It's disgusting. Like every once in a while I'm like, I'm gonna try it, and I'm like, what if I put like the lightest spray on, and then I'm just like, within 45 minutes, like this is driving me nuts. I gotta fucking rinse this off. It's disgusting. So if anyone wants to buy a bottle, still got the box. It's
if you want a good, it's turning into a perfume show.
Yeah.
If you want some good, like just normie perfumes, not quite. They're a little bit like verging on the wanky niche stuff. Have you ever tried any of the Goldfield and Banks?
Yes.
They're really good. Like,
that's an Australian run too, right?
Yeah. They use like all Australian ingredients and stuff.
I had a sample of one of theirs. I feel like it had oud in the title. It was pretty nice. Or maybe it did have oud in the ingredients, and it had because they all have like Gold Rush kind of sounding titles and stuff.
My favorite one it's basically, I wouldn't say it's one of my signatures. I wear it a lot to, weddings or like fancy occasions or a night out or whatever, is Purple Suede, which is, it's
just
the
like a black perfume.
Yeah. I think it could be good in a black man, but like it's sort of leathery, but also really sweet. And there's this like
iris or something.
Yeah, a little bit. But it's so nice. Like, and everyone comments on it. It's pretty much that and Angel are the only like fragrances that I get like, you smell amazing.
Really?
Yeah. And actually yesterday when we were shopping, my husband got a lime one, which smelled good on the little paper thing, but when he put it on his skin, it just smelled so good. Very masculine too, but very fresh. Do
you get into like bergamot fragrances?
Yeah, I love bergamot.
Yeah. There's what the fuck's the brand? It's like got an Italian name. I forget. They all have like kind of like Roman set of sounding names, but there's one. It was I can't remember enough to finish the story.
Is it Versace?
No, it's like more niche than that. They have one that's the. Fuck, I wish I could remember these names for these perfumes because it's obviously pointless to try and talk about it without remembering what they're called. I'll remember it as soon as I get off. But yeah, there was some. They had like a real nice bergamot one, and they had like other like kind of leathery ones. Like the names were all like Century and Brutus or some shit like. Fuck. It's driving me nuts, whatever it's called. But yeah, I like that. I like a lot of, especially now as warming up, citrusy ones are good.
Even just classics. Like I think CK1 is still an amazing fragrance, and
I wear CKB a bit.
Yeah, it's a great summer fragrance, definitely.
Yes. Yeah, well, CKB I think is maybe even a bit bergamoty or something as well. CK1 I can't really remember what that one smells like, but I need to.
Just sort of like fresh and soapy and clean.
Yeah.
I used to wear that all the time in high school and just after high school at uni and stuff. But yeah. Anyway, now that we've talked about what? Sorry,
I was going to say, well, one perfume I do want a bottle of is Zoologist King Cobra.
That I've heard about that one.
Yeah, it's just a super like masculine kind of incensey, like, but it's not too crazy. Like, it's very much just like you can imagine like your grandpa sort of wearing something like that. It just
does
like
smell like a black guy. That sound like a black guy perfume as well, actually.
Yeah, it's just like your frankincense kind of like masculine. I can't remember the details. It's yeah, because like I got a bunch of zoologist samples and most of them are pretty good. Bee is a cool like one. It's sort of like smells kind of like beeswax and honey, and like it has this kind of like, it's a bit vanilla-y too, but it's like on a hot day it's really nice. And yeah, they have like they're all pretty cool, the ones I smelled of those. Most of the ones I liked. So the one called Dragonfly, which is really nice, like start of summer one, like it's like kind of like floral and like grassy a little bit or something. It's pretty cool.
I love wearing some people have seasonal connotations with different scents, but I love changing it up. Like in winter, I'll always try to wear a summery scent. It's not like because I live in Melbourne, which is like the weather is annoying and changeable, and so the seasons don't really mean anything here. But still, I'm just like, I'll wear a summery scent as if to like invoke the return of summer.
I find
come back.
Like there are some things that smell better at certain times of year. Stuff like my fiance got me a bottle of Lone Star Memories by Tower for like my birthday.
Oh, I love that one. That's a really nice scent.
But it's best on a cold night. Especially if you're going somewhere fancy, like out to dinner or something. Like it doesn't work as much in summer. It gets a bit cloying, but in like on a cold night, it's fucking really good. So probably not gonna be wearing that again for another like 6 months.
Yeah, well,
but I mainly just
Brisbane is like 2 weeks, so
yeah, I mainly just wear Comme des Garçons Original. That's the one I wear the most because that smells good no matter what time, and it smells different at different times of year. But like it always, every aspect of it I like. Like it either is kind of like honey or then like kind of cinnamony garam masala or incensey. Like it sort of changes, like but it always smells good. So
yeah, we're just wearing like 80s and 90s stuff. Like I went through my bottle of Angel and I need to go and refill it at the fountain.
Nice.
And I went through that in like a couple of months. It was just insane. And I really like CK1, like I said. And I haven't bought it yet, but I think I'm going to. I'm going to get Jean-Paul Gaultier's Le Male. Really classic 80s scent.
Yeah, it sounds good, that one. Yeah.
But yeah, the other sort of older scent that I've been wearing a lot is what's it called? Kouros.
That's my I thought you were going to say Antaeus, so that was close.
Yeah, that's
I wear
close.
Antaeus a bit. That's the main old one I wear.
Yeah. Oh, and I also like Drakkar Noir. That's if I want to be like, to me, it always conjures up associations with Magnum PI and Tom Selleck. So if I really want to lean into the like sort of daddy thing, I do that. Speaking of Magnum PI, because you know it's set in Hawaii, right? I think so anyway. But I've got this thing that this summer is going to be Hawaiian shirt summer. I'm going to buy like 5 Hawaiian shirts and I'm just going to be wearing Hawaiian shirts all throughout summer. So nice. I'm just announcing this here.
Oh yeah.
So
I'm going to continue to wear polo shirts.
Yeah. Everyone in the Southern Hemisphere, upcoming summer, wear Hawaiian shirts. It's a thing.
Well, it would be interesting to see if that is
catches on. Yeah. It won't. It'll just be me.
Yeah. Wow, that's cool too. Go on.
I remember I went through a phase of wearing Hawaiian shirts, like I think in my first year of uni, and I wore like I got like 5 of the same one. So it became almost like my uniform. It was like a blue one with like white hibiscus flowers on it. But then at the same time, this was such a like ridiculous look. Then at the same time, I would remember bucket hats?
Yep.
Would wear those. And then I would also have these like like John Lennon yellow like lens glasses. My God, I'm glad no photos exist of that time for me. So imagine if smartphones were around, it would have been like, oh look, look at this wanker, and I'd be all over social media. But
Well,
yeah.
I mean, now that doesn't even register as that weird or anything.
No, it doesn't, does
You
it?
just look like a Zoomer or something. Because yeah.
What is with this Zoomer look of like really baggy pants and then like the really tight singlet thing and then nothing else? And it's really weird because you see it, they don't wear like anything over it. You see it in the height of winter in Melbourne. Like I'm just like, aren't you cold?
Yeah, I
It's
don't
like
know.
it's like those slags in like England who go out clubbing and then it's fucking.
You're talking about only
free.
women wear this,
No,
though, right?
men wear it. Yeah,
Dudes
yeah,
do? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. And usually with like a pearl necklace or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's this guy I always see walking around Brisbane, and he's like real tall, and he's got like a ponytail and like kind of slightly baggy pants and a singlet, and he's like kind of ripped, but he's wearing a mask. That's what draws my attention.
Oh my God.
But he always wears like a corn singlet too. And I just see him just like charging the streets all the time, and I'm just like, oh my God.
Wow.
So I'm guessing he's like back and forth between his Centrelink appointment and then his hepatitis doctor's appointments or whatever he's doing.
Dear.
Because I just see these like people that I'm like, don't act like you have somewhere to be. Like you're like some street idiot. Like,
Yeah, I love when someone's walking with purpose and they're just a homeless person.
Yeah, many such cases. I mean, some of them they're just.
How about walking with purpose into a job?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it's just the meth. They got to like get up and get active and do something,
of course. Yeah, get active.
Yeah, get active. Yeah. What else you been reading or watching?
What have I been? Well, I've been reading a D.H. Lawrence book called Sea and Sardinia, and this is mostly sort of like for background research for something I'm writing at the moment. And it's really funny because D.H. Lawrence we have to do him at some point. Like I've also got
heaps of his books. I've never read a single one.
Yeah, I've got Lady Chatterley's Lover, which I read that I've heard of it obviously, and I read the first page of it because I just got it from a op shop. And I read the first page of it and I was like, yep. Like it's really good. But he's got this like in this book that I'm reading, Sea and Sardinia, it starts off, he's in Sicily traveling with his wife. It's travel writing basically. And it's written beautifully, but he clearly hates it. Like his journey. And it's just like, he's like, it's hot. There are lemons everywhere. Like Italians are kind of gross. They're always like touching each other. And like, it's just like
Wait, lemons are everywhere?
Yeah.
He
lemon
doesn't
trees.
like that?
No, he doesn't like that. He doesn't like lemon. And he actually made this wonderful kind of, I think that's why it like struck me, because he made this wonderful association between lemons and Italians, that the way that lemons grow, they like could have sort of like bunch and sort of swirl around each other. And he's like, that's what Italians are like. And like Italian men, especially, which he found really disturbing, are very just touchy feely with each other. And he was just very kind of not, I wouldn't say disgusted, but just was like, I'm sick of these people. Like this entire book, is just him grumbling about like how hot it is, how kind of like loud and obnoxious Italians can be, and how different they are to like English people and stuff. It's actually really funny because of that, but also like at the same time beautifully written. Like, the way he talks about Sicily as well, being in this sort of ominous shadow of Mount Etna, this active volcano. Like it's just, it's great, really great travel writing. Like the scenes he describes are obviously amazing, but then he's got these like little grumbly asides, which it's really funny to read.
All right, yeah. I think that sounds interesting. I've got like Goethe's book on like Italian travels or whatever, or travel writing. I've never read that either. But I've seen, like, speaking to D.H. Lawrence, I've seen the Women in Love movie, which is pretty cool.
Is that the naked wrestling one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, he doesn't like the Italians being close. But I was like, unless that's not in the book, but yeah, that's the most memorable scene is the like naked wrestling. Like, and it's just bros being bros. It's nothing gay or anything. Not at all.
Bronze Age pervert would agree.
Yeah. It's just like, two men just like, establishing their like places in the pecking order and stuff. And what better way to do that than
that's what gymnasium means in Greek, like it means
really?
because it actually means something, the naked place or something like that, because people would work out naked, and like in my opinion, we should return with a V to that. And also there were male only spaces too. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Definitely return with a V to that. Honestly though, I think straight men might agree.
That is like an idea though. Someone could have a gay naked gym.
Well, not even naked, but like I actually would advocate for male only gyms. Like I don't even mean in a creepy gay way, like, but just where it's just men and we all just do our thing, because like women at the gym, I'm sorry, are so annoying, especially now because they're all like trying to get attention with their like skin tight painted on active wear. They hog machines so they get men to look at them. Like there are so many women like this and they're so annoying, and we're to the point where I will pay double what I pay for my gym if it's just all men, because there's no nonsense, no one gets in the way, and like I just the active wear is out of control now with women. Like you can see pussy lips from the back. That's how tight the shit is. And like that must be distracting for straight men. It's just annoying to me.
Yeah, that's the thing is like I never go to the gym. I've never been to a gym like to work out. I just do it in my study, like have some dumbbells or whatever. But I could imagine that if there was just like camel toes and stuff everywhere, it would be like how am I supposed to like focus on like my Sun and Steel fucking physique here? Like this is I agree. Like, like because there are female only gyms, and that makes sense that they don't want men in their spaces. Like, like is there literally not a male only gym? Is that is that sexist to do that?
No, I think there's like gyms that they're not as a policy they are male only, but they're usually mostly male, and that's like your Doherty's and things like that. But still, like women still go to those, and I'm just like, yeah, there should be male only gyms. It'd be the most efficient place. There'd just be no like I just remember waiting for a machine once, and of course it was a leg curl machine, like so it works the butt, and this woman with a huge ass and like really tight active wear was just on there for like literally half an hour, and just the way she was sort of like arching her back and stuff like that. It's like, honey, I'm not interested and everyone else is doing their own thing. Like just stop. And it just reminds me of those videos of like women on TikTok or whatever who set up the thing and then like get angry at a guy who just glances at them, and then it's like, I'm working out, like, I should be able to work out without getting leered at. And it's like, you wanted that, like you want that for your content.
There's no law against wearing a burqa, like
that's exactly,
I don't think there is, at least.
It's very funny. I don't know how we got onto that, but
the Rupert what's he called, Women in Love.
Women in Love, yeah. Women in Love, yeah. But yes. We should have male only gyms. I can't believe that's not a thing.
I think it's just because I remember like in Brisbane there was like a male only like workspace, like those kind of we work like shared workspace, and then some dudes were like, we want to have a workspace where we don't have the distraction of women, and then it was just immediately like, articles about how this is problematic, and it just like got shut down. So I think that's what investors would be afraid of, that it's going to be like, wasn't there some like club or something, like a gentleman's club, and then some women sued to be like allowed entry to it, and it's just like, fucking hell. But there are women only gyms, and that makes sense. Like, so I think it just would be like hesitancy by investors to like get behind something because they don't want to be seen as like it's sexist and exclusionary. But meanwhile, it's like, And then I don't know how
Well,
would it go. How would they handle the tranny issue too?
yeah. There is
they tend to go the other way though. So
yeah, there is the men's shed sort of thing where people that's a male only shit like space.
Yeah, it ain't weak to speak, like whatever. That's what they like. That always seems just like I don't want that. Like whenever like at work, they're like, it's okay not to be okay. Ask someone if they're okay. Day. It's just like shut up. I'll deal with it on my own.
Yeah, exactly. Deal with it the proper masculine way by yourself.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like have crazy thoughts in my head that I process. Like I don't need to talk to that. Yeah, that's the only time they'll allow men is like if you're gonna all go like cry and deal with your. But I mean, I'm assuming they probably just drink and have a laugh or something in there. It's probably fine,
yeah, just a horse session.
Yeah.
But yeah, we should definitely do D.H. Lawrence because I love him, and Lady Chatterley's Lover seems really good too. Like very that first page just paints a picture of the era, which I love when people do that big synoptic kind of novel where this is about a time, I love the ball. No one has those sorts of balls anymore. Like it's always about. This is about one kind of person who's a bit nebbish or autistic or something like that. And it's just a character study. Like no one does that big novel of ideas anymore, which is a shame.
I think because it's depressing to do it about the modern day.
Yeah, maybe.
You know what I mean? Like the Gen X kind of 90s sort of stuff is at least like, it is a critique of consumerism and things like that, but it's like kind of very cozy. Like you watch like Daria or something, you're like, I want to live in that house. Like, you know what I mean? Like I miss the fucking Jock and the Britney and all of that like thing now. It would just be like, I think like Max Easton's books are the closest I've read to something being like that, So I guess it's possible, but like, I don't know. Just, I think nowadays to just try to like, and maybe you need to put some distance from it too, to get a better thing on it. Like, you read like War and Peace and he's writing about like an era like 100 years before he was born or something, like, or maybe not that far back, but like, it is a few generations back. So maybe you need that like to have the bird's eye view. You either need to be like very perceptive or like have some time to like give you the panopticon kind of view of it.
Definitely. Oh yeah, that's really very true about Max. Shout out to Max. Probably one of our great young Australian writers. We've done his books. Apparently he's coming down to Melbourne, and I've got a book to return to him. So Max, reach out, and I'll bring you the book. But yeah, that's very true. That's sort of. This kind of, it's based in a place, but it has a synoptic view as well. Like those, the archetypes in Max's book are just so, if you know them, like it's like he's clocked that one, and it's something that's very, recurs a lot in our time, So that's true. You get it in these sort of small niche places, I guess. But yeah, it'd be good to get. I think you could do it in a way that isn't depressing about our current time.
It'd be possible, but difficult.
Yeah, but difficult
because you tend to just start wanting to just like rant about like annoying people and stuff like that.
Or the like internet,
isolation and loneliness and all of that. But yeah, there's got to be a way. I can't think of how to do it, but
I think people want to incorporate the internet a little bit too much, and I think people are still trying to work out how to do that. But it's interesting because a lot of the time it's just not very successful. But there are like books that have been pretty, like we recently read Vivian, which is a great, like, it's not necessarily about the internet, but the way that it folds that in is really cool. But the way that it does that though is with a sort of characters that are kind of removed from it. Whereas I think that a lot of people who are trying to write a chronicle of this time want to fold in the internet in a way that the characters are extremely online, which I think grates with a lot of people, because usually the people reading the book are also online too much. And so,
and they're trying to escape that at the same time.
But I think that something like what Emily Russo did is really good, because it's like the characters are kind of removed from it. But you have it as this like background ominous hum at the same time. So that's cool.
Yeah, and I guess like Matthew Gazda's book too is sort of like, a little bit panopticon view of mainly New York kind of thing, but they're pretty universal type of archetypes. It's not like they don't exist in Brisbane, those types of people or anything. So
performatively reading.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So, there it does. Yeah, I think you're right with the removal aspect, like, because then you could have someone who's like, maybe they're like an outlier for the modern world, and they're looking at it through a more objective eye to be like, what the fuck is with all these people on their phones all the time? Like, maybe that's a way to do it, as a perspective of like an 80-year-old guy who's sort of just like observing the world and like, seeing how these people are like, all these young kids, like his perspective of it. So it can be a detached, removed element where he's trying to sort of figure it out and stuff, but there's something there for sure.
Well, the way I like the current thing that I'm writing, it's like I think it's probably like my next book is, it's set in on an island, and it's a digital detox island.
Oh yeah.
So it's like the internet is not necessarily there. It's like it's purposely removed. So I think you can talk about what it does to these kinds of characters by doing that. Like, I mean, I've got like a really, I want it to be very pulpy. So it's got a mystery like element to it, but like that I found a really fruitful way to talk about, the zeitgeist, people today or whatever. It's that like removing access to it in a way, and that being the point of the setting. And
there's a lot that can be like commented on things when they put into like a negative space. Like it's like their absence and stuff. It says more like than actually commenting on it, because we're all on our phones and it's just tedious. And if you're just going to be like, this guy logged onto the social media website and looked at like racist memes and stuff like that, and liked a bunch of like tweets, and watched a bunch of ads. It's like,
exactly.
I don't need to read that. Like, I'd prefer to read the romantasy, like whatever.
And you can even see in, modern literature, even if it's not about, the current world or the internet or whatever, you can see the influence of it, like just the writing style and stuff like that. Like it's funny reading Sally Rooney. I don't know if you've read any of her stuff, but like I think she's better than people give her credit, because a lot of people like poo her because she's popular or whatever. But one thing she does is like, she doesn't mention the internet in this way. It's there, obviously, but it's not really remarked upon. But it's in the style, like this kind of flat style that's almost like the way that people, when they write a think piece or whatever, it's in that sort of style, which I think is great and probably intentional on her part. But so you can see it coming through in other ways, I think.
Yeah, again, and she'd probably be another, I haven't read her, but she'd another one we could put in that category of like, taking a view of society and sort of like, I'm imagining that's what it's kind of like. It's a bit more like grand, panopticon view or whatever of sort of modern world. So, I mean, based on the episodes I've heard you talk about it, she does sound interesting.
went to a gig in Brisbane. Was it last night or
last Friday?
last Friday?
So just over a week ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was that band Rome, which I wasn't super familiar with. They're just a band that like you listen to Death and June on Spotify, and one of their songs will come up in the like after playlist kind of thing.
Mm.
And so I saw that come in, and I was like, "Oh, it's only like $42." Like, and I have a friend who was a bit younger. Shout out Steven. He's like a Serbian Orthodox guy, Italian Serbian. So when we were talking,
Oh dear,
yeah, he's very loud, and he's a bit younger. He's like late 20s or something. Yeah. So I was unk that night for sure. Mm. But yeah, I was like, oh, you want to go? And him and his friend came along, and yeah, like, and there was like, it was like a double headline thing: King Dude and Rome. King Dude was like, I'd never heard of it before, but it was like kind of like a guy that looked like Gavin McInnes with like kind of like a couple of people in the backing band, and then he's singing these like it's like acoustic, it's like folky, sort of neo folky, sort of like acoustic, but he had like the backing band stuff going on. And every song was about just like Lucifer being the light of the world, and you know, Jesus telling lies and all this stuff. So lyrically, I didn't really vibe with it, but I thought it wasn't terrible. I watched it, and it was entertaining enough. And then Rome was like super boring. It was like a guy that looked like David Cross, like just bald egghead with glasses. He's from like Luxembourg, just literally on the stage alone with the acoustic guitar, and just every song sounded the same. Like, at least you listen to I listened to a couple of his albums, just like, oh, it's not bad. But like they had like, you know, industrial kind of backing stuff, and a lot of tracks where you have industrial kind of tracks. I thought like might be cool to see that sort of thing live, but he didn't even have like a laptop to just press spacebar and play a backing track, which I thought he might at least have that, or a guy on a synthesizer or something. So it was just boring. And then there's songs about like the Ukraine and stuff, like the heroes wearing yellow and blue. But a couple of funny things from the show was one.
So was that like an actual sort of, mentioned Death in June. So like, is the Ukraine stuff because of is there a Nazi thing, or what's that?
I don't know what Rome, the guy's sympathies are about that. Like Death in June, I think is a bit more. Again, he's kind of a performative Nazi.
Circumspect. Yeah.
But I think it's like that. That's they're European sort of guy, you know, European supremacists or whatever. Like it's, you know, Ukraine's Europe, whereas Russia's like, you know, the East kind of thing. So like I think they, you know, their sympathies lie more with Europe than with Russia and stuff. And, yeah, and if the ones who are Nazis and stuff, you know, the Nazis and I mean the, you know, Nazis versus Russians, like, you know, they're two sides of whatever. Like
Azov battalion.
Yeah. So I don't know if I'm not accusing the Rome guy of being a Nazi or anything like that, but he's obviously was like, it was just like whatever. Like, what did I expect him to be? Just like Slava Russia, like, you know, Slava Putina, like, you know, like, and but yeah, it's like. Anyway, it was at do you remember the zoo? Did you ever go to that place?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, it's the Crowbar, which used to be in a different part of the valley. It's better now where it is, but same place I saw the Sun Ra Orchestra. But yeah, me and Steven were talking, and because we're both Italian, we just ended up getting very loud, and I was drunk and whatever, and then we just didn't even realize that the opening band was playing. Like, I don't know what they were called, some local band, and then this guy just like, who also looked like David Cross, like turned around and goes like, hey guys, keep it down, band's playing, you're fucking loud. And I was just like, at that drunk point, I was like, oh, sorry man, yeah, sorry. Like, and Steven was kind of like annoyed at him, and was like then like performatively clapping really loud and stuff after the band song. And I was like, settle down, you know. Like, but because it is weird to be shushed at a gig. Like, it's like you could go sit up front of the stage if you really want to hear the band, you know. He just didn't want to leave his table and stuff. But then later he came up to us and he's like, hey guys, I guess I misread the room, so I'm sorry. And I was just like, it's fine, whatever. But
misread the room? What?
Yeah,
were you not loud? Like you were loud.
His friends were probably like, you didn't have to say that to them. They're allowed to talk at the back of the thing, like up near the bar. But then like another funny thing was like, so I was watching the band of King Dude, and then I knew I had a message from my fiance that I need to reply to, just to like, hadn't replied for 45 minutes. I was like, she'll get annoyed if I don't send it back soon enough and whatever. And so I was like, I didn't want to whip it out when I was like watching the show, because I hate when people have phones and gigs and all that. So I went to the toilet, take a piss, and then I just like put my drink on the urinal, like pull my cock out, was pissing. I guess I just like no hand pissing, texting on my phone. And then like, cause I'm fucking such a terrible texter. It takes me forever to send messages. I'm just constantly, so I'm like probably like in there, like leaned over my phone. And then I just hear this guy like next to me just go, fucking hell, so addicted to technologies, cock out, drink on the urine. It's just like, you're just roasting me. Just like, I was like cracking up. Like I probably had already finished pissing. So I'm just standing there with my dick hanging out my zip. Like, so that was really funny. Like, and then I went back out, watched the rest of the band, and I just kept like laughing to myself. So I'm like, someone sees me. I'm just standing here and just like periodically just like bursting out laughing to myself. So anyway, and then when Rome played and when the song about the Ukraine, and I was like to Steven, I'm like, catch that? He's like, oh yeah. I'm like, guys, had enough? I'm like, yep, let's go.
Yeah.
And then we went to
we
went to some cocktail bar, got a kebab, and then got kicked out of Johnny Ringo's country rock saloon because Steven got on the table and danced. And then it was about time to go home.
Yeah.
So
Good on him. He'll be a future guest, won't he?
Yeah. Well, yeah, we had planned to do that Laurus book by Eugene Vodolazkin, which is a pretty cool book. So yeah, and he can sure talk, Steven. So we'll get him on.
He's Serbian and Italian. So.
Yeah, that's why we were so loud. I was just like, his friend, he was cool too, but he was quieter. He was just like, not saying too much, and we were just like yelling and pointing.
It's funny, the urinal thing as well, because I was actually just thinking this yesterday, like, because I really needed to piss, and we were in Emporium, which is a giant like shopping center place in the city in Melbourne, and I went up to the top of like David Jones, which is where their toilets are. I'm in there in the urinals, and I'm texting my husband, but I was just like, this is so weird, because I'm like texting. I was basically doing what you were doing minus the beer, but the way I was doing it was like I was over the urinal, and I'm just like, if someone came in, they could be thinking like, is this some kind of like piss fetishist guy who's like taking a video of himself pissing? And I'm just like, so then I sort of like moved the phone to the side, but then you can't do that, because what if someone comes in and you're like, it looks like you're trying to video them or something? Like, this is the stuff about technology that people just really need to incorporate in their literature about having a phone on you at all times. Like,
I'm always like worried I'm just going to drop it in the toilet. It's never happened, but I'm like, God, that would be so annoying. Like, not to mention just having to fish it out, but also just like, I have to go fucking buy several $100s worth of phone again. Like, that's funit So I had a fun night. Like, despite the bands not being really to my cup of tea, it was a good time. Yeah, I'm glad I got out.
So, are you embracing your unk status now? Or was that just a one night thing?
It was just because they're like late 20s, and I felt like I was just drinking with like super young people, and like because they were just more energetic, and getting like Steven just like was drunk and like climbing up on statues, and we went through some park in the valley, and he just like opens this door that shouldn't have opened, in like, it was like, I've never seen this little building. It looked really old, like almost like gothic looking little like gardener's shed or something, and it had like a metal door, but like it had like a thing where like a security, you need to swipe a card, but it somehow just opened. I was like, what the fuck, that shouldn't have opened. And then like he's like runs down, and then there was another like bunker security door that wouldn't open. And I'm just like get out of there, stop wasting time with this nonsense. Like, you gotta, I wanted to go, well, like there's a jazz bar in the city, Dubop. I was like, let's go there and stuff, and then we're like, oh, it's actually a bigger walk than we sort of imagined. That's not that big, but still we were like, you run out of energy quickly. And then we're like, well, there's Johnny Ringo's. I've never been in there. Let's go check it out. And it looked kind of like the mix between like a Mackay nightclub and Coyote Ugly. Apparently has a mechanical bull, but we didn't even I literally got through 1 inch of my beer before he got us kicked out. So
I remember there being a Coyote Ugly. I probably told this story before. A Coyote Ugly in Townsville when I was growing up on the strip there. But it only lasted a few months, because one of the girls was dancing on the bar, and fell off and like broke her neck. And then like
Neck?
and very soon after that, I don't think she broke it. I think she recovered. But very soon after that, it closed down. And I think it was related to that injury because I think maybe the insurance or something got too high because of the dancing on the. It's the sort of thing that only works in the US because, they're a little bit more lax. Whereas here, there's all the OH&S and all that sort of shit. But yeah, that's my Coyote Ugly story.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, that's all I remember from that movie, really, is they dance on the bar and stuff.
Yeah, like pour drinks for on people into their mouths and
write
stuff.
a LeAnn Rimes song.
Yeah, I do like that song. It's gay, man. You can try to resist, to hide from my kiss, but you can't fight the moonlight. All right. Well, this has been a fun one. We had a last minute reschedule, so we just sort of had to improvise. But it's been great. I think what's next for us?
Is it the Jack Norman book?
I think it might be. Yeah, Jack Norman, one of our another great Australian writer. We only platform great Australian writers on this podcast, not any of the mediocre ones, of which there are so many. Yeah. So that'll be great. Sleep Capricorn is the book, so you can pre-order it now from Bonfire Books, and I'm really excited to talk about it. I'm guessing you are too, because a lot of the stories are basically set in North Queensland, where we're both from. So
literally mentions Mackay in the first story.
Yeah. The last story is literally called Townsville, which is where I grew up.
Oh wow.
So, yeah.
I mean, I've been to Townsville a few times too. So my dad's from there.
Oh really? I didn't know that. That's cool. Oh, Ingham. Yeah. Italian.
Yeah. He lived in Ingham at some point. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that'll be cool. And we also got, there's a lot of stuff coming up. But it'll be fun to, just horse around with Jack, and about far North Queensland stuff, which will be fun.
Yeah. Drop the C-bomb a bunch.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it. It's like, I pretty much never have said it on a podcast. Like,
really?
I might have said it, but like not even in that, like, get fucked, cunt. Or like, what cunt? Like, just more like of like, she was being a crazy cunt. Sexist way. Yeah. I don't know. Like, it's like a thing as Australian that's like feels performative, and you get a lot of people in the city who you just like, you're not using it right, They're like getting this like, oh, I never used to say that. Now I'm gonna. Yeah. It's like I think I was listening. Yerk talk about like his parents getting into like the dub. Oh, he's on your new mythologies where Yerk was talking about his parents like, go on, my son, or whatever. Like. Like, they're just like, this is not. You can tell when someone didn't say cunt.
It's not organic. Yeah.
It's whereas I said it a lot.
Yeah, it was. Me too.
I remember people in town who would just be like, you'd make fun of them because like every second word was cunt, and it was just like, dude, relax a little bit.
Yeah. I really that's of a piece with like really city people like acting really ochre, but also they're kind of like really woke at the same time. It's like. That's not how that works. Like, you can't be both of those things.
Cheers, cunt. That's like, I've never heard. No one says cheers, cunt, like that. You say cheers, mate, or whatever. Or you just clink the glass. Like, that's a real one where I'm always like, that sounds wrong. You're doing it wrong. You're performatively saying cunt. Like,
All right. Yeah. So the next episode at least is going to be even more Australian, if you can believe that. We've had a good run of these episodes. We had the Wake and Fright episode, which was a very Australian episode. So this will be a continuation of that. The people want that, apparently. Our audience loves that. So
give the people what they want.
We must give the cunts what they want. All right. See you later.
See ya.
Sky, gonna be with you, and no one's gonna